Okay, so good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining the Eumans weekly meeting. We started with the good news about the not legalization, but confirmation of legalization, I guess, of CBD. So last week we had our meeting with a focus on stopglobalwarming.eu initiative, and in particular the celebration of the Paris Agreement, which is going to be on the 12th of December. So my idea for tonight is to share a bit of an update on that, just to see where we are and how the campaign is progressing, but also discuss together the overall plan of the next week of Eumans. This is an opportunity for those who joined only a couple of meetings, like Paola or Luca, to start to get a bit of a bigger picture of our initiatives, but also to put our brains together on how to better manage this very important political phase, accompanying that with our initiatives. So maybe on the stopglobalwarming.eu initiative, Marco, you are the one that is managing the largest part of the event, the political side and the supporter side. So maybe you want to start with that.
Thank you, Virginia. Hello to everybody. Of course, now we are mostly Italians, but let's keep in mind that we maintain this formula, the Tuesday evening at 9 o'clock in the evening, of course, the Italian meeting, and on 6 o'clock p.m. on Thursday, the meeting for English speaker. In a way, it's in part is an overlap and a repetition, and in part is intended to aggregate non-Italians to our internal debates. We just opened the possibility of becoming member of Eumans, so let's keep in mind this, and we will try to propose the membership also to our non-Italian network. Talking about stopglobalwarming.eu, on December the 12th, it will be 5 years from the Paris Agreement. So we will have a webinar on Saturday, December the 12th in the morning, with former President of United Nations General Assembly, Mogens Lykketoft, former Finance Minister in Denmark, with Navi Pillay, former High Commissioner on Human Rights, Emma Bonino, former European Commissioner, and the message from a video message from President of the European Parliament, David Sassoli. That would be the occasion to relaunch the idea of saving the Paris Agreement through carbon pricing, to the idea of giving a price to carbon emissions. So the day before, on Friday, we will set up a kind of virtual demonstration, global virtual demonstration, and everybody can attend, taking a picture of herself or himself alone in a public square of their own town or their own city, showing maybe the cell phone with the image of Stop Global Warming, to invite people to sign online. Mogens Lykketoft would be the first one sending us his picture, doing this in the public square in Denmark, and we will propose to do the same to prominent personalities around the world. We already wrote to the Pope. We already we will write to the Dalai Lama, and and we have to figure out other very important personality to whom send this message. This is about the stopglobalwarming.eu campaign. I think there will be, but I don't know if definitive or not, a postponement of the deadline to collect signature, and this could give us more time to put the campaign in the right track. We are now still way ahead because we are at 43,000 signatures, which is of course not yet a result that could make us hope to achieve the goal, but we can change that, of course. Okay, thank you, Virginia.
Maybe an addition to the Stop Global Warming campaign, also for the records, is that we are collaborating with the promoters of the Fridays for Future European Citizen Initiative, and this is another angle that that is quite important, because what we are trying to do is to send a joint letter to Greta Thunberg. The Fridays for Future European Citizen Initiative started from a group of activists of Fridays for Future who were aware of the European Citizen Initiative, but is not officially supported by Fridays for Future, even because it's not a formal movement with formal decisions. But the spirit of the letter that Adam wrote is basically to call Greta to support not only the two initiatives for the climate proposals, but also because they are instruments of participation and participatory democracy, to basically ask her to give value to these instruments as a formal and official hook within the decision-making process of the EU institutions. We discussed the letter yesterday, and we are putting together the plan for the sending the letter to Greta, maybe to get it published somewhere in the media, because this meaning that is not only on the climate issue, and for a joint social media strategy. Their collection of signatures is not that stronger than ours. They have around 78,000 signatures. I mean, considering that they have the brand of Fridays for Future, the difference is not blatant. But from a perspective also of how Stop Global Warming and also the methodology of Eumans can become a trigger for European participation, that's definitely a good sign. So this is the other parallel action on the initiative. I want to get this opportunity to share with everyone what's going to happen in the next weeks, because December is a very complicated and crowded month, not just for us as an organization, but for the European Union in general. Actually, maybe that is more important. So we have seen how the topic of the rule of law and the rule of law conditionalities around the recovery fund became the real, I don't know the best word in English, but like the point where all the debate is now kind of articulated. And there is going to be a series of institutional moments in the next weeks that are very important to keep an eye on. On the 10th of, no, sorry, the dates are here. 8th of December, there is the meeting of the Ministries of Environment of the European Union, which is basically the preparation of the summit on the 17th of December that will discuss the climate issue. In between, there is on the 10th and the 11th the EU summit, the proper one, where probably the topic of the rule of law will be kind of at the center, but the agenda is not yet there. And then on the 14, 15, 16, and 17th of December, there is also the plenary of the European Parliament and the different sessions. So crowded agenda for the EU representatives somehow. Within this net of appointments, we have very strong or very important milestones for Eumans. The first one, actually, the one for the climate issue, is the one that Marco described, the 12th of December Paris Agreement anniversary. But then, most likely on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of December, there is going to be a 3 days appointment organized by the coalition Citizens Take Over Europe, which of which we are proud members, which is a network of civil society organizations that has a focus on the Conference on the Future of Europe, which was supposed to start on the 9th of May, didn't start because of the outbreak of the pandemic, but it is an essential moment for rethinking the European Union and for having citizens involved in this decision-making process. So Citizens Take Over Europe is carrying on different actions and shared thinking around how should be structured, the Conference on the Future of Europe should be structured, and how to make sure that citizens are part of this moment. So during these 3 days, we will go through different angles on the matter with a specific focus that we are working on, which is a petition to the European Parliament that was submitted a month ago exactly on this topic. And we are trying to organize a self-convocated hearing of the European Parliament on the designing of the Conference on the Future of Europe as part of these 3 days. The other part that regards us very strongly is that on the first day there will be different sessions, and we decided to call for the Council on Participatory Democracy during this session. For those of you who don't know what the Council on Participatory Democracy is, this is a concept of a self-organized forum that Eumans launched 1 year ago in our first event in Brussels, when it was possible to do events. And after that, we launched this appointment regularly in March, April, May, and June. And particularly the March one was very important because it's there that it was conceived the You Can Do It petition, a petition that was suggesting measures that are needed by the European Union to tackle the COVID-19 emergency, but any other emergency and crisis that are ongoing, like the climate one, or that can come to the European Union, such as economic crisis or social crises. The petition had a very strong success in terms of support and signatures and supporters, and most importantly, it was heard officially by the European Parliament on the 30th of April this year, but after that it got stuck. So the idea, and I'm going to share a draft of the call for the Council on Participatory Democracy here so we can review it together. The idea is to use this opportunity of the Citizens Takeover event as a way to call for a new Council on Participatory Democracy, connecting it to the concept of saving lives through participatory democracy. The opportunity is to review the You Can Do It petition, to put it in the framework of the decisions that already had been made by the EU institution and those that are not yet made, and also to put everything in the framework of the rule of law and the respect of human rights within the European Union, and of the respect of the rights of citizens to partake in decision-making processes. So what you see here is a draft that will be circulated initially internally, the people active in Eumans, and then become official once the Citizens Takeover thing is all structured, and we can promote both actions. So the idea is to not have a conference or an event, but more a laboratory where we can discuss which proposal taken from You Can Do It can be pushed through again to the European Parliament, potentially through a new petition. This obsession that we have with the instruments, the ECI and the petition, it's because we consider as an organization this the cornerstone of our action, to make sure that every proposal always falls in the institutions, and then to strengthen the instruments if things don't happen. For example, what happened with the You Can Do It petition. Last two things. Next week there will be two open meetings, one in Italian on Tuesday at 9 and one on next Thursday at 6. I mean, all our meetings are open, but these two are aimed to have a bit of a more welcoming experience for people who join, where we can review all the initiatives and also invite other people to listen and to share their perspectives on the different topics. We thought it was helpful to have this moment of like presentation where we can bring along other people to improve the quality of the debate, to work on these appointments that Marco and I just presented, but also to start to inform in an informal way more people about what Eumans is and how we operate. So that's a bit of an introduction for the topic of tonight. I think we can maybe share, if you have any questions or comments on the Paris Agreement and carbon pricing initiative, but also if you have any idea around the convocation of the Council on Participatory Democracy and the Citizens Takeover Europe initiative, but also an opportunity to know each other, since it's the first times that we work together, so it's always good to listen to each other and see how we can improve things.
Maybe if nobody else is talking, yeah, but I see Anne opening the microphone, so we'll talk later.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that it's really good you're planning to do these meetings next week, and I was just wondering if you'll be creating the events in Facebook that we could you know, share with friends and stuff, rather than just kind of inviting people, because it's actually the whole organization is really quite complex. There are so many strands, there are so many threads to what's going on. You know, I mean, I've come along to a few meetings now, and I'm gradually beginning to get some ideas about what it's all about, but because it turns into these statutory instruments, and so we have all these ECIs going on and all this kind of stuff, it can seem complicated to people. So, you know, it's nice to have something that's would be clear and easy to share, that we can spread around and try and invite our. I just tried to invite some, you know, some other British people to this meeting, but they all say, well, you know, what is it? Why the word Eumans? What does it stand for? What is it? You know, because I think you have so much history that maybe is a little bit taken for granted, and we kind of need to perhaps go back to grassroots and, you know, to the beginning, and you tell us right from the beginning what all this stuff is about. I mean, there's amazing things going on. You know, I was at the meeting last night with the sardines, and that was everybody was like blown away by all the new ideas coming out and all the interesting topics that people have to think about and talk about, because it seems to me that, you know, that the way democracy works now, it's just not working, but we don't know what to put in the place, and so, you know, this is really exciting, the way all of these ideas are coming out and we can think about them. So, you know, I'm really grateful that you're doing this, and I hope that we can get a lot more people involved. I think that would be useful.
Thank you, and we will we will put more effort in clarifying the general goals and let's say the mission of Eumans. In a way, the strategy we chose is to let facts speak. In which sense? To put before the initiatives, and then the organization. So not to put the organization before the initiative, which usually is one of the I would say of the mistakes or of the obstacles that political initiatives carry with itself. The fact that if you put the organization in the first place, then everybody has her own or his own organization, and then this risks to jeopardize the effort. So the strategy we followed was and is to put at the center some initiatives, so that people from different organizations and different personalities can unite their efforts on the specific goals. But I also think it is important once in a while to clarify the big picture itself. So what's the philosophy, what's the idea behind all that? So we take your point, we are working on that. We will try to work on that in the convening next week's meeting. Virginia already wrote a draft and I didn't have yet time to look at it, but we will do that. And another important thing is that Virginia suggested to me in the past days was the importance of fighting for the creation of the Statute of European Association. This is very important because one of the obstacles to have a truly pan-European organization is the absence of a legal status for association that want not to be Italian or French or Italian and French, but to be European. This is clashing against a sort of vacuum in the European law, and we will try to work on that too. Luca, I think asked for the floor. Luca?
Yeah, just wanted to integrate one thing to Annie's comment. The first thing is, yes, the letter is draft and will be transformed into a Facebook event, like an event that you can invite people. The meetings will be structured with a more even visual type of introduction and maybe asking some members to present the different initiatives, but without taking too much space to the debate, because then that is the value, what people say and comment on the thing. So we are preparing the preparatory materials and everything. The other ongoing effort that is important to tell is that with Roberto and other humans, we are currently reviewing all the technological instruments that we started to use, starting from the website, but not only, to basically kick off a phase of remaking of these instruments, so that, for example, the first thing that a person understands when arrives on the Eumans website is what Eumans is, whilst, as Marco said, now it's what Eumans is doing, which is key, but it can't be done in this way. So there are different streams ongoing, and one of the goals of this phase is also to make sure that these streams emerge at the right level for people to get it. So, like, what is the bigger picture, and then if you want to deep dive, the different opportunities for deep diving. So, yeah. Luca, scusa.
Oh, no worries. Well, I think making a comment on what Marco said, I think from my understanding, Eumans start from from that spirit and tradition of the radical party as an idea. I think, like, not having a political agenda, but rather than a lot of initiatives and have other organizations, other groups participating in reaching the objectives of those initiatives. I think this is my understanding so far of Eumans, and correct me if I'm wrong. And so I think it's interesting what you and say regarding having a better understanding of the objectives and the actual political view of, not really the political view, but the political philosophy of Eumans. So I think that's very important for someone actually joins these meetings and joins for the first time and participating first times in the activities or the discussion of the group, so has a better understanding of what the philosophy is. For some of us, especially some of the Italians, had that experience with what was the radical party and the everything that went around the radical party, has a better understanding of what the philosophy is. But Marco can say, can correct me if I'm wrong. The other thing that I wanted to ask is regarding the December 12 initiative, and wanted to ask you, Virginia, if you had a chance to talk to Paolo Petralia, and also if there was an idea, I think, of involving what's the name of the photographer, Oliviero Toscani, to take the picture of Lichthof. And I don't know if that is going, or if you have any updates on that. But in case Oliviero Toscani is not available, there is this young but already internationally.
Luca,
Yes.
I interrupt you on that immediately because of COVID restrictions,
Okay.
we decided to for a quicker solution. So tomorrow or Saturday, Liketov will go, and we will and he will have someone else taking picture of him. So it will be done not by Toscani, but it will be done by Saturday.
Okay. Okay. Good. And also on the December 12 initiative, can we extend the invitation also to people outside of Europe or the European Union? Okay.
Yes, of course, because Navi Pillai, High Commissioner for Human Rights, is from South Africa. Of course, StopGlobalWarming.eu is a European citizens initiative. So if you are not a European citizen, even if you are a British, your signature is not legally valid. But of course, carbon pricing is not a European, it's a global proposal, it's a global solution. So for example, I wrote a letter to Nobel laureate Nordhaus, who was in a way the inventor of the idea, and we try also to contact the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation. So every backing from non-EU citizens is even more precious, because it helps in giving the idea that the world would like to count on Europe to realize something that actually neither China, neither Russia, neither the US have done until now. And the new presidency in the United States could be the event, because as far as I know, Biden talked about having something like carbon pricing, or anyway a fiscal policy on carbon. So to have Americans supporting the idea in Europe, and Europeans in a way relaunching the idea in America, could become also a new breath for transatlantic cooperation.
Thank you, Marco.
On the practical side, no, I didn't reach out yet to Paolo, because we are waiting for the picture to be attached to the letter also to the municipalities, and so I wanted to not to disturb him twice. But on the other side, Paolo, who for those are connected, is the deputy mayor of the city of Palermo, which was the first Italian city to publicly support StopGlobalWarming.eu. They forwarded us the reply to the mayor of Munich, to the letter that Orlando sent to all the municipalities, and basically also the mayor of Munich together with Dortmund and Frankfurt. So basically we have 3 German cities supporting the initiative, and kind of important. He said he supports the goal. We are kind of confirming the official support, but it's confirming the goal. And he suggested us to reach out to 2 European networks. One is called Eurocities, and the other one, I don't remember the name, and Adam is working on that. So basically, we are using this support to relaunch with other municipalities. So we are in contact, but step by step. But ultimately, one of the goals on the 12th December, actually better the 11th, so the day before, is to ask the municipalities to either project the Stop Global Warming logo, associating that with a call for the citizens to sign, but also potentially take the same picture like Lichtoft and the other celebrities who are trying to involve.
I know, Lorenzo, you have raised your hand, but can I just ask you a quick question, Virginia, about that? So once you have the picture, and are you going to share that document with with all of us, so we can reach out to?
Exactly.
And okay. And also, I was thinking, I don't know if there is an association of smart cities in Europe, because those might be the one that we may want to reach out, because they're really smart cities and they utilize the technologies a lot to do things like that.
I don't know, Adam, if you have a sense of the networks of cities that were reached so far. For I don't want to put you on the spotlight here, but maybe you worked on some of these activities, so you have a better picture of who we contacted so far in terms of networks.
Yeah, hi everyone. I feel like we may have already contacted the smart cities, but it's a good idea to reconnect with them if possible, especially as we have this event coming up. It would be a good idea to try and connect them again to that. But yeah, there's two networks that Munich suggested we look into, and they have huge networks throughout Europe. So I think, and there also some of the cities we already have involved, such as Dublin, Frankfurt, they're also in that group. So I think working with them, it's always best to work with groups where we already have an in, if that makes sense, and then try and go from there. So I think if we can get them on board and then hopefully have them also sharing this picture and have them also in the square themselves, taking a picture themselves and sharing it on the 12th, I think that could be a really good way to do it.
Lorenzo.
It's okay. I'm not on the rush. So just a couple of updates to the introduction of Virginia and the rest of the discussion. We have also another event for the next week for French speakers. I put it in the chat so you can have a look. It's going to be a webinar, a conversation on the Stop Global Warming initiative next week on 25 of November. It's with Marco, but also Monica Frassoni, former European parliamentary, and Christian Gollier, which is the president of the European Association of Economists for Climate and Environment. So with a bit of chance, we will reach a huge database of French people to ask them to follow the event, because Europe Écologie Les Verts is promoting and supporting the webinar. So we received just today some positive feedback, enthusiastic feedback from, for instance, the mayor of Grenoble. Is called Eric Piolle. Someone says he could be the next French president in 2022. Let's see, maybe, I don't know, but he's updated about the webinar he will follow, and so the database of Europe Écologie Les Verts knows about that event. So I think if you have some French speakers, friends, you can share this and promote the event in the chat. Apart from that, there is another event that Virginia just mentioned that will be in parallel with the Council on Participatory Democracy. So I will probably not follow the council, because I will be in another panel co-organized with the Association of Citizens Take Over Europe, and it's about putting together organizers of citizen assemblies experiences. Citizen assembly is this form of participatory democracy that is now a reality in many countries of Europe, by which citizens run by lot are confronted with experts in many fields. They discuss and they deliberate after months of discussion and information on specific issues. We are running a campaign in Italy on this issue, which is called Politici per Caso, but also at the European scale, we're trying to putting together all the organizers of these experiences around Europe, so in Ireland, in France, and other country. So the objective is to have this panel that will be also on the 8th of December. And the objective is to mainly to push on the European institution for the convene of the Conference on the Future of Europe. That could be this huge consultation. We still don't know when it's going to happen. Are able to build a coalition that could support a petition in this sense to put a bit of rush on the European institution for the convening of the conference. If we are able to build this coalition, and if part of this coalition will be the organizers of European Citizen Assembly's experiences around Europe, I think that this would be a milestone. And so there is also this event on the 8th of December for all of you that could be interested.
Thank you, Lore. Just because we are in the same meeting, so we don't have to speak later. The dates might be postponed, 15th, 16th, and December, because there was the overlap with another event. And tomorrow there is the event planning meeting, but I'm not 11. In, so you are in. Okay. Okay. Just to
no, it's a detail that we had to decide. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But yes, guys, this opportunity on the European Citizen Assemblies is kind of an important bit, because, of course, also in terms of awareness of what we do as humans and being able to connect with people in different territories that use this instrument is also important for us as an organization ourselves. Any other comments, questions, suggestions?
I don't know, maybe I have a suggestion, and I don't know if this is going to take time off of whoever's, maybe you, Virginia, or or Marco, but before each time that we have a meeting, before the meeting, maybe the day before, or even a few hours before, just send out an agenda of the meeting, so everybody has an idea of what, and maybe you can make also some proposals or that can be included in the agenda, and therefore also we, if we share that on the Google Drive, you can file the agenda for future references.
Yes.
I don't know, that's just
No, thank you, Luca. Up to now, we use these meetings to discuss all the issues that were on the table. But it's true that the more the initiative are articulating, and the more is needed to have some to put some order before. And Virginia is already trying to do this effort. I'm not helping her very much, but I will try to do my best.
Now we are trying, and the other thing I was mentioning, the work on the instruments that we are doing with Roberto. I mean, when we say instruments, we mean everything that the way how we are approaching the project is to try. We have these months, the first year and a half of Life of Humans, to try things and see what was working and what's not. And for sure, the updates on the meetings, it's something that is not working very well. I mean, it becomes regular for those that knows and get that it's a regular appointment, but we need to implement also a system of notification so that who wants to know about the meetings knows about the meetings, and who does not want to know about all the meetings cannot avoid the spam. The problem is that now the database is a bit, I mean, it's segmented, but it's difficult to manage. But we are trying to make sure that, for example, the members, so the people that paid the 72 euros, they have a certain amount, I mean, the information that are relevant for them, that there is a clear picture on the website of when the meetings are. And of course, the agenda is another element. I have to admit that, as Marco was saying, at this moment, this is a good way of, if someone is interested about Eumans, to tell them that there is one day instead of having 10 or 20 phone calls with individual people, not because I don't like to speak with individuals, but then it becomes a bit difficult to sustain. And also to start to create a group and a community, because whilst in Italy, the community is strong, started to work together on the project. Here there is people that come and go, so also having an agenda is good, but also difficult, because depending on the people that you have in the meeting, you need to be quite flexible. But for sure, it's part of the things that we do and we are doing and we will do.
Paola Ranaldi, hi. Sorry if I put you in the conversation, but I didn't hear you before, so I don't know what work. If you want to tell us what you're doing and what are you from.
Yeah, I'm sorry that the connection is not very good, so I don't know whether you're hearing me. Can you confirm that you?
Perfectly.
Yeah, okay. Because I can't see anyone anymore, so I'm not sure what I'm saying. What can I say? I just I'm not in politics, so I never work or being part of anything related to that. I'm a software engineer. I'm studying philosophy since quite a while, and I've always been interested in the fight that Pannella and his party, so how Radicalis is in English as well. And so when speaking with Luke, I asked him to be introduced or to have the possibility of taking part to such assembly in order to understand whether I can contribute in some of his fights. So I don't know, it's quite some years that I'm kind of suffering, in the sense that I see a lack of democracy. It seems to me that our social tissue doesn't give the possibility to express anyone in a democratic way, and I see it deeply, because I don't know, I lived in Germany and in Switzerland for quite some times, and every time that I'm in Italy, at least I kind of suffer a sort of I don't know, sense of alienation from the politics that we are living here in Italy. Can you still hear me? Because I don't have any feedback anyhow.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. So I'm really suffering for this kind of lack of participation. It seems to me that, I don't know, that it's really difficult to still say something, to be organized to say something, to enforce democratic instruments. And so I just wanted to take part to some community that is taking care of enforcing them, or still being able to really make some debate. And I don't know, this one about environment is interested for me, and just that. I mean, I would like to take part to help somehow. And I don't know, somehow I think from what I hear from you, I don't know, I would like to help you in the organization, or try to reach out, like some as I told you, I lived in Germany for a while, and I don't know, I'm always thinking about a group of people that are organizing something regarding, so the green parties in Germany, for instance. So I was thinking about how to take part to this organizational part of the project.
Okay, Paola,
Maybe,
take your time
sorry,
to know us. No, sorry, Gila. My suggestion is take your time to knowing us a little bit better. So if you can attend to some meetings, and then you can pick up either the theme, either the activity that you would prefer. That could be to contact the institutional personalities or to follow one specific issue and so on. And then you let us know, you talk to me, to Virginia, and so on, so that we can understand how you can be more useful to the action.
And Marco is always, when I think I'm kind of anticipating Marco, then he turned the table. So I was saying, I say it in any case, if Adam did an internship with us with a specific focus on the German, on Germany, and he decided to keep helping with the campaign in this space. So maybe if in the next days you want to have a chat or just connect to each other, maybe he can tell you something of what the activities that he's doing. And it's always good to have a buddy and not be, I mean, one of the difficulties of the transnational politics nowadays is that everything is very digital, and so it's very difficult to have a human connection. So in case you need a human connection, maybe Adam can somehow guide you through the what we are currently doing in Germany. But as Marco said, step by step is the best way always.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very happy to connect with you, Paola.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Just
Luca.
I just want to share that in the meantime, that Paola was talking and I was listening to you, Paola. But in the meantime, I completed my registration to Eumans and I paid a membership. So, I mean,
Bravo, Luca.
Thank you, Luca. Okay. Thank you very much to everybody.
Yes. If someone wants to stay, we're gonna have a meeting in 8 minutes about the instruments and the technology to wrap up the last 4 meetings that we had and transform it into the project. I know it's irresistible. And I are gonna stay connected. Otherwise, I hope to see you next Thursday. You will receive the information about the meeting, and remember that the purpose of that is to have other people coming and understanding a bit more what we do. I mean, not dragging people who don't give a shit about democracy, but maybe you have a friend who always complained that you don't know what to do, or you spoke with someone about Eumans. I mean, it's an informal moment. It's not a huge presentation with fireworks. It's more like, okay, let's stop and share with a larger network of people what we are doing. So.
Okay, Virginia, we don't have friends. Sorry.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Ciao, bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.